Hey guys, it's Jen here from Nails by Jen. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time to my channel, welcome to my channel. So for today's Watch Me Work video, I did these very pretty multicolored marble nails. So I had actually originally done a marble tutorial video early on in my videos that I posted on YouTube, but I wanted to do a better and amped up version of it. So this lady was willing to sit for me and she was absolutely obsessed with them when we were done, and so was I. So if this is something you're interested in, stick around, keep watching. As always, don't forget to click that like and subscribe for me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below, and let's get started. Alright guys, so for this design I used 6 Madam Glam colors, the first one being called Daddy's Girl, and the next one is called Sky is the Limit. It's a beautiful teal color. And then we've got this one here called Early Bird. And the next 3 are actually from my last swatch video from Madam Glam. This one is called Navy Blue, and this one is called Perfect White, and the last one is called Plum Addict. And I will link that video below as well to see all of my new fall colors. And I also used my favorite top coat, the Young Nails Stain Resistant, along with some gold foiling. And then I used a regular kitchen tile to mix my gel polishes with a little palette knife, but you could also use just your desktop. And then I used this nail art brush, which I think I got it just at one of the craft stores. So if you're going to do this design, you just want a brush that is relatively flat so you can scoop under the gel polish. And of course, I finished off with my favorite lotion and cuticle oil. So the first thing that I'm going to do on her set is to remove her rhinestones, and honestly my favorite way to remove rhinestones is to use an old carbide bit and just zip those babies off. They come off so quickly. They do fly a little bit, but I actually prefer it rather than using a nipper. And the next step is to go in and remove all of her existing colors. So her pinky nails actually had embedded or encapsulated glitter, so I have a little more filing to do on those ones. And the rest of them, they just had a gel polish color on them, so it was a lot easier to remove those colors. Now I've mentioned in previous videos that my favorite types of carbide bits to use are the 2X, 3X, or 4X coarse. I get them all at various different places when I travel all over, but I just find that they cut through that acrylic and that glitter so easily. Now, as you can see on both of her ring fingers, she did have some chipping at the tip. So I will post a link to the video where I did her nails using all of the nail haul products I got at the Pink Chair. So this was the first time I used all 4 of the products on her ring fingers, which was the Kiara Sky No Wipe, the Kiara Sky Chromes, the 2M Foil Gel Glue, and also the JOHENS or JOANN's foils. So I'm not sure if maybe there was just an issue with combining all of those products, but it was the only nail she had any kind of issue with. So again, I will link that video for you guys to see below because it's a super fun video. I also shortened the nails slightly and continued removing all of the color, and I also removed any lifting that she had. And next, I went in with my cuticle pusher and pushed back the eponychiums to expose that cuticle or that dead skin that we want to remove. And then I went straight in with my hand file to shape the nails and also remove any little bits of lifting that were still remaining. So as you can see from her pinky nail, she likes her nails really sharp. I like to call these nails daggers. So I took the time to make sure I got all of her nails really sharp and really pointy. And then I went in with my little cuticle bit and got all of the dead cuticle off. And then I removed all of the dust and I applied 2 coats of the primer, and then I was ready to apply my acrylic. Now, one thing you always want to remember when applying your primer is to not get it all over the skin. And as I mentioned, I do like to do 2 coats. I do find that I get the best adhesion that way. Now, that does not mean that certain clients will not have lifting. Some ladies are just harder on their nails than others. For example, this gal, her dog chews on her nails. She is admittedly harder on her nails, so she tends to have lifting on that right hand, on that middle finger for sure. But I find that with the double layer of primer, it has helped immensely with everyone. So I didn't mention at the beginning of this video in the product section that I'm using a Cover Pink acrylic, and the reason I didn't mention it is because if you are going to recreate this design and you're a gel girl, you can use a gel to build your nail as well and then do the design on top. So you just want to start out by building your nail in some type of a cover color, some type of a cover peach, cover pink, camouflage, whatever type that you use that is opaque, that's what you want to build the nail in, and then we're going to do the design on top. So for the pinky nails, because they were built in acrylic with glitter, I had to take all of that glitter out, so I was just left with that thin clear layer. So I am completely rebuilding the nail on the pinkies, and then for the rest of the nails I just have to do an infill or a backfill and basically apply acrylic to the naked nail area and rebuild that little bit of an apex before we go into the filing. And now that the acrylic has cured and it is hardened, I'm going in with my hand file to shape the nails and just make sure I redefine that point for her. Like I said, she likes them extremely sharp and very pointy. She likes her little dagger nails. So I know a lot of ladies like to go in with their e-file and do this work, but as I've mentioned in other videos, my carpal tunnel is pretty bad on my right hand, and I find using the e-file hurts my wrists a lot more than the hand file. So I do all of my shaping and finish filing with a hand file. So I have finished shaping the nails, and now I'm going in with my cuticle bit to smoothen out the cuticle area. And I do this just so that as the nail grows out, it's a very nice smooth transition and there's not a huge hump there as the natural nail grows. And once I'm done with this step, we are going to finally get ready to apply some color. Now, the one thing I will say is I do not buff the nails before I am applying any kind of gel polish or gel colors. And the reason that I don't buff is I find that if you buff the nail too smoothly before you apply gel colors, you end up having a lot more chipping issues than if you don't buff. So now we get into the fun part. So I first started off by laying all of my colors out on my tile. Again, as I mentioned, if you don't have a tile, you can simply use your desktop. And then I just simply started blending the colors. So for each shade of color, which I wanted 5 colors in total, I also wanted to create a lighter shade. So that's why I put that big blob of white on the end of the tile. So for the first one called Daddy's Girl, I just simply mixed that with a little bit of white to get a lighter shade. And then you'll see I went into the next color, that dark teal color, and I mixed a little bit of that in with the lighter green because I wanted the lighter green to just be a little bit darker. And then I added the white to the teal and the green, just like I did with the first color, to create that lighter shade. And the next color is a dark navy, but I wanted it to have a little bit more of a teal hue to it. So I just took, again, that dark teal color and mixed it into the blue and created the perfect color for us. And again, I wanted to create another lighter shade, so I took some of that dark blue, dark teal color and added some white again to create a lighter shade. And for the last color, I mixed a dark plum color, which I believe is called Plum Addict, with that Daddy's Girl just to give it a little bit more of a brighter purple. And then I created a second shade using the white, just like I did with the first 4 colors. Now you also want to make sure that you do have some white on the end of that palette because we are going to be marbling the white with the medium shade and the darker shade. So I just poured a little bit more out on the palette to get ready to apply these colors to her nails. So the next thing that I did was start layering the colors. So as you can see, I'm scraping up that lighter shade of the first color and I'm just kind of blobbing it onto the first color. And then I am going to grab some white and also blob that on top. And then I'm just going to very gently mix them and swirl them. And I'm not going to mix them too much because if you do, you will lose that marbling effect. And then I went in with my Young Nail stain resistant top coat and applied a very thin layer. So you want to make sure that the layer of top coat is extremely thin. If it is too thick, when you go to apply your gel polish, everything will just run all over the place. You will end up having to try to clean it off of all of the skin and it'll just be a huge mess. So be sure to make sure that that layer of top coat is very thin. So when you go to pick up your gel polish, you are going to be scooping under the marbling. This is why you want to make sure you have a very flat gel brush to use. So when you pick it up, the gel polish will be on top of the brush. You do not flip the brush. You leave the brush the way that it is and you just place it down on the nail and drag that marbling through the nail. Now you can go back in and dip like you see I'm doing here and just add a little bit of color here and there to create a beautiful marbling effect. And then you want to pop it in the lamp to cure because if you do not cure it, it will start running because of that wet layer of top coat. And then I just continued doing the exact same steps using all 5 colors on each hand. So the pinkies will have the first color, the ring fingers will have that dark teal color, the middle fingers will have the green, the pointers will have the blue, and the thumbs will have the purple. Now you will notice with the teal color that I actually took the dark color and blobbed it on top of the medium color and then added the white. It really doesn't matter which order you go into because you're marbling them. As long as the colors marble together and you get that streak of color, it does not matter which one you add on top of which one. So now you may be wondering what the purpose is of this thin layer of the top coat. I find that when you add the color to the top coat, it just helps to slightly spread the color just a little bit and it gives that really nice marbling effect. I have done it without applying the top coat and I just don't find that it spreads as easily and it kind of just sits, you get more of a defined line I would say, but I wanted these to sort of spread throughout the nail and not just sit as a defined line in the middle of the nail. So as you can see, the color did start to slide a little bit and slip into her side there and it went onto her skin just slightly, so I just had to grab some alcohol on the brush and quickly clean up that area, and then I added a little tiny bit more white and quickly got her to stick her hand in the lamp. So you guys will be shocked to hear that this was actually my favorite color out of all of them. Nope, it wasn't the pinky, which is the most pink color that we have on the nails. I really loved this dark blue. And next I went in with my gold transfer foil. Now I did not have to apply any type of a transfer foil gel or a transfer foil glue because the tacky layer was really sticky from the gel polish. I just simply went in and lightly pressed that gold foil transfer paper just in and around the area slightly. I did not want too much of the gold, just little bits here and there. Now, if you happen to get a little too much foil in a particular area like I just did on that nail, there was just a bit too much for what I was looking for, you just have to take a brush and dip it in some acetone or some alcohol like I'm using here, and you can just wipe away the foil. And the last thing that I had to do was apply my layers of top coat. So I say layers because anytime that I do any type of a transfer foil, I always apply 2 coats of top coat. I just find that it helps the foils to stay sealed in there really good, and you have way less chance of chipping or of the client being able to feel any kind of little bumps from the foils. And of course, finish off with my cuticle oil from MOODY MARE and some lotion. Alright guys, so here they are, the final product. They turned out amazing. Both my client and I were totally obsessed with these colors. We loved the palette. We could not say enough. We were just sitting there looking at her nails at the end, just in awe of the colors. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and you enjoyed how these nails turned out just as much as we did. If you did, please share this video with someone else. Don't forget to click the like and subscribe for me. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. And as always, guys, have an amazing day.